I remember the day like it was yesterday. My daughter Emma came up to me and she put her hands on her hips, matter of factly looked me in the eye, and she said, "Where is my brother? Why is he not in your tummy yet? I have books for him to read. I need to teach him how to ride a bike. We need to go to Disney World. When is he going to be here?" And just as she said it, I saw this little boy start running circles in the living room, and I froze. And she said, "He's here. That's him. Now come on, you need to get him in your tummy so he can come here." And I remember standing there and I was just in absolute awe. I had sensed a different energy around me, but I hadn't yet made the connection. I hadn't yet made that connection. And I remember that night, as soon as I fell asleep, this same little boy would come in, take me by the hand, and say, "Come on, let's go." And we would go flying. And in the coming weeks after my daughter said that, I really started to feel this energy, this soul. And it almost felt like home, having this energy around me. And you see, with my daughter Emma, it was a very difficult labor and delivery. And she had a severe misalignment that we didn't know about for the first 4 years. I had postpartum depression. I don't think any of us slept for 4 years. And the thought of having another child, I couldn't even fathom because it had been so difficult with Emma. And she was like our miracle baby. Yeah, she was our miracle baby. So I started to wrestle with this. I thought, okay, well, I've had a tubal. I'm not sure what we're doing with this. I feel this soul. And I remember the day when I realized that I was meant to have another child. I was standing in the kitchen, and my husband at the time, he came in, and I said, "What would you think if we had another child? What would you think if we had another child? Do you feel like our family's complete?" And he looked at me and he said, "What are you asking me?" And then I said, I I think we were meant to have another child. I think we're meant to have a son." And he looked at me in that moment and his eyes lit up and he said, "What? Do you think there's a boy? Like I could teach him how to play hockey?" "What? Really?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, let's look at in vitro." And in that moment, he named him Jack. And it was almost like in that exact moment, our family was complete. Even though Jack wasn't here in the physical, he was already a part of our family. So we started the journey with in vitro. And I won't go into the details of it because it was so long ago. And it doesn't really serve anyone for me to share the details. Things didn't go according to plan. Then, in the blink of an eye, the possibility was gone. And adoption was out of the question, according to my then husband. And so I chose to live with that loss. And it would take several years for me to even begin to fathom the enormity of that loss. And it would take an army of people to put me back together again. And one of the things that started to make it bearable that he wasn't here in the physical with me were heart rocks. This is the first heart rock. It's perfect. It's beautiful. I remember the day that I found it. It was just, I could feel and sense Jack. And I looked down and there's this beautiful heart rock. And I started to cry. I call signs sprinkles of love from heaven because they really are. And just for a brief moment, the grief subsided, the deep heartache stopped, and I had this little bit of hope in my world again. And that was the start of the first sign that I get from Jack. I get heart rocks. They're all over my house. Last year on the anniversary of losing him, I went out to Elbow Falls. It's my favorite place. It's about maybe a 30-40 minute drive from the city. I really quite like it because it doesn't have cell service. There are certain areas where you can go and you can get, you can see a couple of bars on your phone. But I love it because it allows me to be fully disconnected and fully present. And I remember on that day, it felt really griefy. Like the grief was palpable. The grief was just, I felt like it was all around me. And I said, Mama needs a heart rock. So on the way out, I always say, Mama needs heart rocks today, my love. And so we get there and I can feel Jack with me. I can see him. I can hear him laughing. And he says, Come on, Mom, let's go. And here's another one. And here's another one. I collected 32 heart rocks that day. 32. They're in my pockets. I'm thinking, okay, okay. And just before we left that day, I was sitting by the water. I just like to sit by the water and just allow the energy to flow through me and maybe do a little bit of a meditation and a release and just really flowing love into my heart. And I looked down and there was a heart rock that had to be 3 feet by 4 feet. And I immediately thought, who do I know who has a truck that we can come and get this? We're not going to get the heart rock. And it was in that moment. And I always say to Jack, I love you. And he says, I love you more. And so that began my journey with finding heart rocks. I also see hearts everywhere. Hearts are also a sign that I receive from Jack. So when I get a latte, there's a heart on top. I instantly think of Jack. I was driving yesterday and there was a billboard that had a heart-shaped cloud. And as soon as I saw it, I think of him. And then it was, I want to say 3 years ago. Yeah, like it was 3 years ago. I have a tattoo on my left forearm that says believe. Believe is my favorite word. And what I know is true is that everyone believes in something or someone. And it's so important to understand what that is and hold it tight. And I always thought the tattoo wasn't finished. And I had another artist that did work on the tattoo and it just wasn't quite right. So I had that lasered off. And then I kind of sat with it for a bit. And every couple of months I go to see my girlfriend and she does like a Reiki tune-up for me. She kind of, rebalances my energy and I just, I get to sit in that energy and receive. And one particular day she said to me, Jack's here. I said, is he? You see him? I said, I've had such a heavy week this week. I know he's there. You see him? What's he doing? And she said, he's got these blue butterflies with him. And I froze. I said, oh my God. I said, for the last 2 weeks, I have seen blue butterflies everywhere. I dream of them every night. I see them all the time. I'm thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking, oh, that's so pretty. And I could see Jack running around, but I didn't make that connection because hearts and heart rocks were the main sign from him. And she said, yeah, he's here. So, and then when I went to get the tattoo finished, we put the butterfly, and that's for my Jack. And every day I say to him, Mama would love some signs today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in our community on TikTok, every Monday we ask for a sign from Spirit. Because signs, again, they bring hope. And for that brief moment in time, it can alleviate the grief, the heartache, the heaviness, the sadness. And it gives people something to look forward to. And it helps people to understand that their loved ones are still a part of their world. Even though they no longer have their physical body, they are 100% alive in spirit. and they are still connected to us. Every time you think of your loved one, they're there. So, and asking Jack for signs, and you can do this with your loved ones as well. I just simply say, Jack, I would love a heart rock today. Jack, I would love to see some signs today. And then I leave it up to him, whatever it is. You can ask for a specific sign, or if you know what your sign is from your loved one, you can ask for that sign, or you can just say, let me know that you're with me today. I would love to know that you're here with me. Sometimes I will feel Jack's presence and his love when people hug me. Sometimes when people hug me and they hang on for a little bit longer, I can feel Jack's essence. It's like he takes that moment to just bring forward that energy and that love. When I'm in client sessions, I can feel the same thing sometimes. It's like I channel the unconditional love. I channel all of that beautiful healing for people. And then I can feel Jack as well sometimes. It's the most amazing thing. Jack would have been 12 this year. And he is why I do what I do. He is a part of everything that I do, every decision I make. He is my love. And I think we'll be going out looking for heart rocks today. I think so. I think we'll be going out looking for heart rocks today. Last year, it was four-leaf clovers. I would hear, look down, Mom, over here. And I would look, and I found like 2 or 3 one day in the span of about 5 minutes. So just know that with practice, you will experience your loved ones as well. And there's like a knowingness. So I know when I ask him for a sign that day, I know that it's going to show up somehow. And then I let it go. It's like I know it's going to show up. And then I'm busy doing other things. And then when I do see it, thank you. Thank you more, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So drop me a comment below. Let me know what the signs are that you are receiving and seeing from your loved ones on the other side. And if you would like to join me, I have a very special event coming up March 27th. It is a night of messages from Spirit. You can join me and I will deliver as many messages as I can from the other side. All the info will be in the show notes. And if there's anything that I can help with, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will do my very best to get back to everyone. I send you all of my love.